Before, the modern supermarket offered a narrow range of about 30 vegetables, most of them variations of the same species: Brassica oleracea, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kohlrabi, collards. Medieval European gardens routinely grew over 100 distinct edible plants. These were not delicate, high-maintenance hybrids dependent on perfect soil, constant irrigation, chemical pesticides, fungicides, and a refrigerated supply chain stretching thousands of miles. Subscribe and comment for more ancient videos. They were resilient, nutrient-dense, low-input crops that thrived in poor, rocky, compacted, saline, or heavy clay soils, survived hard frosts, summer droughts, short growing seasons, and neglect. Fixed nitrogen, broke up hardpan, accumulated minerals from deep subsoil, self-seeded aggressively, or returned reliably as perennials, and delivered higher levels of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, prebiotic fibers, and flavor than most modern commercial varieties can match. These plants were deliberately pushed out of seed catalogs, removed from large-scale farming, and in some cases made effectively illegal to sell as food crops, not because they failed to produce, but because they could not be mechanized, standardized for uniform appearance, harvested by machines, shipped long distances without bruising or wilting, or stored for weeks in cold chains without quality loss. They did not fit the industrial model that prioritizes speed, uniformity, shelf life, and profit margins. This text explores 7 of the most important forgotten medieval vegetables in exhaustive detail: their historical role in feeding Europe through famine, war, and plague, their botanical characteristics and growing habits, nutritional superiority backed by modern analyses, exact reasons they were displaced by weaker, faster-growing hybrids, and step-by-step guides to growing, harvesting, preserving, and using them today. These plants represent a lost food system, one of diversity, soil health, resilience, self-sufficiency, and minimal external inputs. By reintroducing even 1 or 2 to your garden, you begin to reverse centuries of simplification and dependency. Skirret was one of the most cherished root vegetables in medieval Europe, appearing regularly at royal banquets in England, France, the Low Countries, and the Holy Roman Empire from the 11th to the early 16th centuries. Chroniclers and household account books describe it as a centerpiece dish, served raw in salads, boiled and buttered, roasted, or candied with honey. The flavor is frequently compared to a sweeter, more aromatic blend of parsnip and sweet potato, with a delicate chestnut-like undertone. No added sugar required. The plant is a true herbaceous perennial in the Apiaceae family. Once established, it produces clusters of 8 to 12 white, finger-sized roots, 15 to 20 centimeters long, from a central crown each autumn. Harvest what you need, snap off the roots, replant the crown immediately, and it regrows stronger the following year. No replanting, no seed purchases, no bare soil between seasons. Medieval kitchen gardens maintained skirret patches for decades, sometimes generations. One planting could feed a household indefinitely. Botanically, skirret prefers cool, moist climates, USDA zones 5 to 9, and tolerates partial shade, heavy clay, poor fertility, and wet winters. It is remarkably frost-hardy. Roots sweeten after hard freezes. The deep, fibrous roots improve soil structure, prevent erosion, and suppress weeds once the patch fills in. Nutritionally, skirret is exceptional. It is one of the richest vegetable sources of inulin, a prebiotic soluble fiber, potassium, vitamin C, folate, and polyphenols. A 2018 study from the University of Copenhagen found skirret roots contain 18 to 22% inulin by dry weight, higher than Jerusalem artichoke and close to chicory root, industrial prebiotic source. Inulin feeds beneficial gut bacteria, stabilizes blood sugar, supports weight management, and improves mineral absorption, especially calcium and magnesium. Why it vanished? The roots are thin, tangled clusters. No machine exists that can cleanly lift and separate them without damage. Industrial agriculture demands single, uniform roots, carrots, parsnips, that combined harvesters can pull in one pass. Skirret bruises easily, wilts quickly after harvest, and cannot be stored or shipped long distances without quality loss. It requires hand labor, expensive in a system built on mechanization. Growing it today, source crowns or seeds from heritage suppliers. Baker Creek, Seed Savers Exchange, adaptive seeds. Plant in spring in a permanent bed, partial shade ideal. Mulch heavily, harvest from year 2 onward. A 1 Mietshaus patch yields 5 to 10 kilos year for 15 to 25 years with minimal care. Use fresh raw in salads, boiled, steamed, roasted, or mashed. Preserve by storing roots in damp sand over winter or lacto-fermenting. Good King Henry, Chenopodium bonus henricus, the triple harvest perennial green. From the 1200s to the 1600s, almost every English, German, and Scandinavian cottage had Good King Henry growing beside the door or in the dooryard. This hardy perennial in the amaranth family provided 3 distinct vegetables from one plant. Early spring shoots, cut young and steamed like asparagus. Summer leaves, boiled, sautéed, or used raw like spinach. Immature flower buds, steamed like broccoli rab. No irrigation, no fertilizer, no pest control required. It thrived in compacted, nutrient-poor soil, doorsteps, paths, rubbish heaps, building foundations, and returned stronger each year. Medieval records call it poor man's spinach or wild spinach because it grew where nothing else would. A 2019 University of Ljubljana nutritional analysis found Good King Henry leaves contain 30% more iron than modern spinach, significantly higher calcium and magnesium, broader B vitamin profile, especially folate and B6, more vitamin C and oxalates. It is also a nitrogen accumulator. Deep roots pull minerals from subsoil, enriching surface soil for neighboring plants. Why it disappeared: slow to establish, smaller, less uniform leaves than hybrid spinach, and no commercial appeal for mechanized harvest or long-distance shipping. Modern agriculture demands 45-day crops. Good King Henry asks for patience. Growing it today, Hardy Zones 3-9 prefers partial shade and alkaline soil. Plant seeds or divisions in spring, harvest from year 2 for 10-15 years. It self-seeds modestly. One mature plant yields 1 to 2 kilo of greens per season. Seeds from uprising seeds, adaptive seeds, magic garden seeds. Alexander's, Smyrnium olusatrum, the celery parsley hybrid before celery. Before Italian celery arrived in the 1700s, Northern Europe relied on Alexanders for flavoring soups, stews, sauces, and as a blanched stem vegetable. Romans introduced it to Britain. It naturalized along coasts, monastery walls, and hedgerows for over 1,000 years. Stems were blanched and eaten like celery, leaves used like parsley or lovage, roots roasted like parsnips, flower buds pickled. Flavor: celery, plus parsley, plus myrrh-like aromatic depth. Stronger and more complex than modern celery. Biennial but self-seeding aggressively, medieval monastery records describe having to control its spread rather than encourage it. It thrived in salty coastal soil, wind, and chalk, conditions that kill most vegetables. University of Reading Archaeology found Alexanders among the top 5 vegetables in English monastic gardens, 10th, 15th centuries. It was reliable winter-spring food when cellars emptied. Why it disappeared: hollow stems bruise easily, don't stack or ship well. Celery was uniform, machine harvestable, and storable for weeks. Growing it today: zones 5-9, partial shade, moist soil. Sow once, harvest stems year 2 onward. Self-seeds freely. One patch yields celery substitute indefinitely. Seeds from Chiltern seeds, future forests, real seeds. Medieval physicians prescribed Scorzonera, black salsify or viper's grass, for digestive weakness, general debility, and as a blood purifier. Cooks served it as a main dish. The long black-skinned root, peeled white, tastes remarkably like oysters, hence oyster plant in 5 European languages. It grows 30+ centimeter deep, breaking up compacted clay, pulling minerals from subsoil. Left in ground over winter, frost sweetens it. High in inulin, 20% dry weight, higher than chicory, per 2017 Wageningen University study, prebiotic fiber that feeds gut bacteria, stabilizes blood sugar, aids digestion. Medieval rotation used it to improve soil for subsequent crops, phytoremediation centuries before the term existed. Why it vanished: long growing season, full harvest year 2, thin roots hard to machine harvest, bruises easily, wilts quickly. Growing it today, zones 4 to 9, deep soil, full sun. Sow spring, harvest, autumn, winter, year 2. Perennial in mild climates, seeds from Cedarholic, Cocopelli, magic garden seeds. Rampion, Campanula rapunculus, the fairy tale root that fed winter. The Brothers Grimm tale Rapunzel, original German Rampion, reflects its cultural value. A pregnant woman craves Rampion so badly, her husband steals it from the witch's garden. Rampion was the winter salad staple in medieval Germany and France. The white turnip-like root was eaten raw or cooked, mild radish flavor. Leaves used like lettuce. Biennial, frost-hardy, grows through snow. Medieval German monastery records required Rampion in every kitchen garden. Fresh greens, November-March. Why it disappeared: 12-month cycle to edible root. Modern radishes ready in 25 days. Speed 1. Growing it today, zones 4 to 8. Partial shade, loose soil. Sow spring, harvest roots, leaves year 2. Self-seeds, seeds from magic garden seeds, uprising seeds. In coastal Spain, southern France, and Italy, Agretti, saltwort roscano, grew in salt marshes and sandy beaches. Succulent, crunchy stems taste like salty green beans with mineral depth. Thrives in saline soil, absorbs sodium, desalinating land for future crops. Phytoremediation. Medieval farmers used it on ruined salt-contaminated fields. After a few seasons, soil could grow other crops. Burnt plant produced soda ash for Venetian glass making. Food, soil repair, industrial product from one crop. Why it vanished: stems lose crunch within hours of harvest. Impossible to ship, chew, store. Growing it today, zones 6 to 10. Full sun, saline, alkaline soil. Sow spring, harvest 40-50 days. Seeds from franchi seeds, seeds of Italy. Orach, Atriplex hortensis, the mountain spinach that outshines modern greens. Before spinach dominated, 1700s onward, Orach was Europe's primary cooking green. Tall, up to 2 mm, multicolored leaves, red, purple, gold, green, self-seeding annual perennial in mild climates. Leaves don't bolt in heat like spinach, produce more volume per plant. Institute of Food Research, Norwich, found red Orach has higher betulin antioxidants than beetroot, better for blood pressure and inflammation. Raw or cooked, more nutritious than bagged spinach. Why it vanished: tall, wild-looking, non-uniform. Spinach fits plastic bags and looks identical. Growing it today, zones 4 to 9, full sun, partial shade, poor soil, okay. Sow once, self-seeds forever. Harvest leaves all season. Seeds from Baker Creek, adaptive seeds. These 7 plants, Skirret, Good King Henry, Alexander's, Scorzonera, Rampion, Agretti, Orach, share traits modern agriculture bred out. Perennials, self-seeders, soil improvers, frost, drought tolerant, nutrient dense, low input, long harvest windows. Medieval gardens were systems: diversity, resilience, self-sufficiency. Industrial farming chose uniformity, speed, fragility, and dependency. You can reverse this. One plant from this list in your garden starts reclaiming food sovereignty. They don't need perfect soil, daily watering, or chemical protection. They need time, space, and someone willing to let them thrive. The knowledge isn't lost. The seeds are still available. The soil is waiting. Plant them and grow a garden that feeds you, not corporations.